to the pitch, everyone, where 2 okay players and 2 who don't play are going to judge you on all of your credentials. So here we go. We're going to be talking about JAL 14, starting with the regular season and some highlights. Kale, let's go.
Highlights? Well, it all started off with the Bambinos getting crushed. In the opening game, they made a bad decision to throw that Vanderwerf kid. They should have had Titus go the whole time. Obviously, he's an MVP caliber player. Could have been MVP if they would have got in. You know, that whole situation is something we'll get to later. But I would say overall it was a really good tournament, and that's kind of how things started. What surprised you early on?
Kyle was there.
Yes.
Which, you know, I think it might have been a little bit of a
He knew he was
attention. Yeah. I think it might have been on purpose. So I'm not sure how I feel about that yet, but I was surprised to see him. I didn't even actually know when he showed up. I didn't see him show up.
He showed up like, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes after the first pitch of the opening game.
All I saw, I looked over at their game, and there was Kyle pitching, and I was like, oh, okay.
Well, when he strolled in, I go, "You're a little early," and he just kind of smirked and goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, "You knew you were gonna be here. You knew you were gonna be here this whole season, weren't you?" And he just kind of goes, you know.
So, I mean, I was surprised by that. That's probably the first thing I was surprised by. What do you got, Brock?
Well, the thing that surprised me the most early on was the Waves beating the Storm by 10 runs.
In the regular
I don't even know if they played a full game. They might have.
I don't think so.
That was very surprising me to see the Waves winning by that much, especially against the team that most of us had making the playoffs. So, What about you, Ty? You haven't said anything.
Well, I had a lot of things that kind of surprised me. I'll just go down the list. Number 1, Colton Titus. Wow. Let me just say right now, I've never been more wrong about a complete player. So, apologies. Second, the Mafia were just crap. There was no effort. And I know they'll get on like, we beat you guys. Okay. Yeah, gosh.
I remember saying in the preview show the night before the season, the Mafia are they're going to go with Tate. If he pitches well, they're going to be in the mix. If he does it, they're going to be not that good. And it was not that good. I mean, Colby Gaston, I think, pitched equal amount of innings. Because
Tate is good.
Tate was getting lit up by the Lynx batters.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. He gave up a couple home runs, and they had to go to Gaston, and Gaston really isn't a pitcher. And then they went back to Tate, and then after that it was just kind of back and forth. And I don't know, though, because really if you look at they only lost one game, and it was to the Express by 1. Or not by 1, by 5. But that was with Kyle pitching. So, I mean, if you look at their, stats, it really wasn't that bad. It's just this thing that stands out so bad to me is that game with them and the Lynx. The Lynx were beating them in the 4th inning.
9-1.
9-1.
Yeah.
No,
they just didn't look like they were interested.
No,
I think it was 8-1 because they ended up winning 18-8. But they were up a lot.
Doesn't matter.
The thing is, if you weren't there and you just look at the records, you're like, oh, 2-1, whatever. But if you're actually there and you watched them play, then you know what we're talking about. Because they just looked kind of disinterested and just lackadaisical. Doesn't matter where you throw it. Hit a home run.
It didn't.
That's what I said too at the very beginning. I was like, I don't know how smart they play. I don't know.
You know what else surprised me? I have 2 more things that surprised me. Right out the gate, Adam was throwing really well.
Yeah.
Like, he improved so much just on his consistency. Yeah. That was one big thing. Another thing was when the Waves signed Mason, I was like, oh gosh, Mason's back. We all know how Mason worked out in the first he was off. But he came out and was fantastic with the bat and was like maybe one of the best fielders in the entire league for that tournament. So those players were a big surprise.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, whose franchise got off to a better start? It was the Waves, wasn't it? Even though they both went 2-1.
It had to be the Waves, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because the Waves had such low expectations too.
We all thought they were gonna be.
We were
crap.
all like,
Yeah, we did.
Waves.
You gotta.
What
You
are you
gotta
doing, Noose?
I mean, they just have no defense. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gillum was
They
a
ended up hitting
bust
pretty well.
pitching,
Cut Gillum.
just a bust. And
There
then
goes
they
Ty.
put in Newspawn. They never tried Al Mason a pitcher, did they?
No.
No, but that's. I mean,
That was a
I'll give it. I mean, Newspawn threw strikes, but he got touched way more than any other pitcher, I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe besides like
He threw strikes,
Nick
but he didn't
Crabfish
throw.
with the Lynx or something.
He didn't
but
throw him
Yeah.
fast enough.
Yeah, they were
His-
cheddar.
they're
They
They
were-
were like a
They're
hanging
cheese balls.
curve.
but
That is cheese. Straight cheese.
but for a backup pitcher, which is really what he should be for a team,
They're not bad.
Yeah.
then he's fine.
Yeah.
They get a
And,
picture, that'll be good.
We'll get to this a little bit at the end of the show. I think they have a good chance of getting Adam Clark.
That'd be a good pickup.
Mhm.
That'd be a good team.
But they should. Yeah, they had the better start. I think.
Oh,
they
oh,
should feel
definitely.
pretty
No
good
doubt.
about
Yeah,
their
no
first
doubt. They should.
season.
Here's a team I'm wondering if they should feel good about themselves or not. The Fog. Because they had 2 atrocious seasons going into this season. They go 3-0. A little bit of an easy schedule. But they go 3-0, win the American Conference regular season, get the bye, and get smoked in the American Conference Finals by the Express. Was it a good season still, though? Like, is it something to feel good about?
Yeah,
What was the score of the Express?
Yeah, I
It's
think
like
so.
6-0, I think.
because
Yeah.
they had. I mean, they had more than a little bit of an easy schedule.
Yeah.
They had a pretty cake schedule, but they still won all those games, and they had to play the Express.
Yeah.
Which-
Who
With
won it?
Kyle.
They did have an impressive win, though, during the season. I remember they beat the Wrecking Crew 9-1.
Yeah.
Yes. I think
They
overall
played-
it was definitely a
Yeah,
good
and they
season.
played much better. And Lucas looked a lot better in this tournament
Mhm.
too, much more
He did.
accurate. So I think that they should feel good about this tournament moving forward.
All right, postseason. Let's move on to the postseason, unless anyone else has.
Go ahead.
No? Okay, Brock, you can. Or Tierney. Let's start with Tierney. Tierney never used to start.
I never started anything. I was a little surprised that the Wrecking Crew, who, come on, I picked to go pretty deep.
Did you?
She did.
I
She
wasn't there.
did.
I know you weren't there.
Should have watched our Facebook Live.
Yeah. Yeah. I had them going a little bit deeper in the playoffs, and I was a little surprised they went out so early.
Did they play?
They-
That's
they
a-
lost to-
Tough.
Yeah,
That's a
Express.
tough conference semis draw.
Yeah.
I know,
That's
but
tough.
we didn't thinking that Kyle wasn't gonna be there. So yeah, I guess I wasn't that surprised because Kyle was there and he was able to pitch against them. But
But if I was on that team, I'd be sitting, home right now thinking that it was a good season.
yeah,
They
I
had,
thought it was
they had
6
quality
6.
wins, and they got to the playoffs for the first time in the franchise.
And they lost to the champs.
that's true.
Yeah, and they played them tough in that game. I think the score was like 3-0. Like,
Yeah, I
it's
mean
a lot
they didn't
tougher
get
than
10
anyone
runned.
thought. Yeah.
So yeah,
I'll tell you what
I'll
was-
take it.
what
I
was
take it
most surprising for me was I look over at the Rapids Waves game and the
Oh my
Oh,
god.
the Rapids are down
yes.
11-0, and I just go,
Yes.
what in the world is going on?
That was
Wait, what were they down?
Weren't you down? No, it was 9-0.
It was 11 it was-
9-0.
It was 9-1.
9-1.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you guys were.
What happened, Ty? What?
I'll tell you what happened. Okay.
Ty wasn't throwing
I'll
strikes.
tell you, that's exactly what happened. Ty wasn't throwing strikes, and then Mason had a few quality hits, like probably 2 doubles, which scored quite a few runs, and me and Jordan just
Crap on the bat.
we were just crap for the first 2 innings. But then, why don't you tell them what happened next, Brock?
Well, you ended up winning the game by like 5 runs or something.
Why?
But why?
Because Noose throws the cheese.
No.
Oh my god.
But you hadn't scored more than 1 run
Yeah.
until the 4th inning, right? Were you
No,
were
I
you
just-
nervous at all?
Well, of
to
course
don't
you're
lie.
nervous.
You had to be a
Of
little-
course
don't
you're
lie.
nervous, but it wasn't like
I was
when-
nervous because I wanted it to be a Rapids Cobras conference
Okay,
finals. And I think
It was nervous because we were down by so much, but it wasn't the complete hopelessness of when you go down 1 to like Michael Sullivan and he's just throwing fire and you're like, the game's over. Because when Noose is throwing those little lazy curved cheese balls, me and Jordan both hit grand slams in 1 minute.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
I mean,
I wasn't aware that happened.
yeah. So
Oh,
know,
that's great.
we ended up winning. And then we had another. I hate the Cobras. For the second year, we've had 2 super close games to go to the championship. We
No,
lost.
the last season was the semis. Conference semis.
Whatever.
The one before
Oh,
that
because
was
the
the
freaking
conference finals.
storm got that. Have that. Anyways, it always seems to come down to those 2 teams battling in the
We've played you
playoffs.
in the playoffs
3 times.
3 years in a row now.
Yeah.
And we've won all 3.
Yeah.
In close games.
No, you
Yeah,
haven't.
we have.
We beat you and went to win the championship.
That
That was in 10.
We didn't play you in 11. We didn't
I know,
make the
but we played
playoffs.
you in 12, 13, and 14.
12 you weren't playing.
I
No,
wasn't
thir-
in-
No,
13 you
13
didn't
you
play.
weren't playing.
I didn't play in 13.
12 is
Oh,
when you got.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry,
12
I
is
just
when you were
forgot I
up
was in
like
that.
8-1
God,
and
yeah.
blew it.
Yeah, that was pretty
We were up what?
The point is you've lost your playoffs
Doesn't matter.
in tight games.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other semis game was not very close, like we said. What did the Express beat the Fog by? 6-0 or something?
You mean
Yeah.
you mean the conference finals game?
Yeah,
I
think it was 6-0.
6-0.
that wasn't very close. Now let's talk about the Winner Chicken Dinner Cup.
Well, it was a rematch
Yeah.
of JL 12, but I tell you what,
Oh,
in all honesty,
It's one for
it
the
was a
books.
classic.
Yep.
It'll
Yeah.
go down as one of the best ones.
classic
For me,
in
it's
many
for the wrong
different ways.
reasons.
Yes. It's.
I'll let someone else tell the story.
Does Brock? Do you want
Yeah.
to? Or
Yeah,
Brad's
sure,
got
I'll
it.
do it.
it hurts Brock.
Yeah, and I don't even play. Okay, so at what point did you guys go up 1-0?
I think it was the third.
The third inning, Kyle walks in a run. Cobras are up 1-0. Now remember, Ty said that Michael was fire in his game.
Straight laser fire.
He kept up this fire through this Winner Chicken Dinner Cup game as well. So Cobras are still up 1-0. We go into the fifth inning.
Well, we're the home team, so it's
they're
top of the
They're the
fifth.
home inning.
It starts to rain on Michael's fire.
Top of the fifth. Up 1-0. Mike, he needs 3 outs. He
Three
needs
strikes.
3 outs. The inning before, he got 3 outs in 3 pitches. He needs 3 more outs. I think he walked 3 guys in a row,
Mhm.
got 1 out, then walked 2 guys in a row to lose the game. So the Express go up 1-0, and at that point, everyone knew the game was over.
The Express
No.
got up 2-1.
2-1. And then you guys had a last chance at bat.
Yeah, they
but
had
you can't give Kyle that opportunity.
Yeah.
He put it to rest.
Oh,
in like
I know,
4 pitches.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the 4th.
Yeah, and then you got 1 on. or you
Basically,
hit
what
one.
happened is the Cobras should have won the championship, and they didn't.
Basically, what's happened over the last 3 seasons is Michael has progressively gotten closer and closer to his goal and gotten closer, or not closer, but more and more unclutch in the bigger moments. Is there a single moment that you can be more unclutch in JAL? No. There isn't.
Innings 5
it's-
of the cup.
This isn't comparable to like when Wilson threw the interception at the 1-yard line. It's not that bad, is it? But it's like
No,
kind of
because
No.
that was
close to
just
that.
like-
No, that would be like
No.
you have 2 outs and you're up by 2, and then you do that.
Yeah.
But he was close. I mean, it was bad. If you were there watching the game,
And it was so from the peak of Michael's excellence. He was just complete excellence in the game against the Rapids, in the 4 innings, and then right when the 5th inning struck, I think he was just like, oh Lord, hearing all the voices, and then straight down.
Oh, I'll tell you what happened.
Straight down.
This is what happened. It goes bottom of the 4th. Okay, then as we're changing sides of the field, and it's going to the 5th, and whoever's calling the game off on the side, this is it. If they close it out, they can close it out here. and then you start hearing the murmuring. Because I wasn't playing the field. I was like over on the sideline by the fans.
Yeah.
And I started hearing the people in the background like, he's going to blow it again. Watch him blow it again. What if Michael blows this?
And then the topping on the cake. Just Michael's almost about to blow up. And the topping on the cake is Kyle Godino. Gives him a little, don't blow another championship, Mike. Don't be trash.
I remember the first 3 pitches of the inning. Walk, walk, walk. I turn around and look at Brock.
So me and Brock were kind of over there like.
Brock just looks at me and goes.
I was so disappointed. I mean, because the Cobras are my team, and I wasn't even playing, and yet I was angry after this loss.
Let me tell you, he was angry after this loss. Michael Sullivan.
Michael was so
pissed.
Yeah.
He got his orange row.
I remember too, because he was kind of mad about us, like saying that he was kind of like choking before the last, because it wasn't as big of a thing. But he knew this time there was no way that like you couldn't say this was exactly like what we were talking about before. I remember as he's leaving, he just yelled back to one of us, "Yeah, you can say I choked on this one now," as he's just walking away. Oh, bare-chested, because I think he took his jersey off like immediately after. Just,
oh gosh, we did the Russell Wilson comparison. Is Michael Sullivan reaching the LeBron without a ring?
Like before LeBron won a championship, and was just heavily scrutinized.
And maybe the taking off was the jersey was the last time.
A rapid.
Not a rapid.
Well, he can't because he's under contract with the Cobras for another season still. But
I don't know if he's there. I would compare him more to like a Dustin Johnson before he won his first golf major.
I'll be surprised if 4 people watching this know who Dustin Johnson.
Well, they might not, but that's who it comes to my mind.
But in all seriousness, it was a classic championship game. Definitely, probably in terms of like drama and a close, great, memorable. Because remember Sean's when he jumped up and batted down that one might have gone all the way out, but he saved it to a double.
Yeah, that would have been.
That would have been game changing. Yeah. There were a lot of memorable moments.
It was finally competitive.
It was, because the last 2 seasons have been total blowouts. And I was looking at this earlier today. It was the first time again since JAL, I think 7, that the losing team scored a run. Because for like 6 straight seasons, the losing team had got shut out.
Not good.
But it was definitely a great game. It might have been the best one of the whole season.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
That Bambino's Express game in the
that was pretty.
regular
that
season.
was good too.
That's turning into a great rivalry.
Yes.
The problem with that is it turned out to be less important, obviously, because the Bambinos won and they still didn't make the playoffs.
But don't you think
But it
it's
was fun to
turning into a really good
Yeah, and I love
rivalry?
that the Bambinos are 3-1 against the Express.
They are. That's so
It's
weird.
crazy.
They've given the Express their only 3 losses.
Yeah.
In history.
Okay.
It's kind of hilarious.
So before we just keep going on, let's just get some last remarks from everybody, and then we'll go to the free agents.
Okay.
And last remarks about the tournament.
Yeah. Just what if you have anything
Well, I'm
else to
still
say.
disappointed about how it ended, but
Brock's bitter.
you know what? I'll say this: the location. I think this is maybe the best location we've had.
Yeah, it was good.
Those are my remarks.
Okay, Karen.
I agree. I like the location. New teams were, like I said, the Waves were good. Good welcome into the league here. Mafia needs some help, but I'm excited for where it's going to go next. I think the longer season, I think it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. This is a good way to wrap up a single season. Drama,
Yes.
good ending.
Okay.
Well said.
Thank you.
I kind of liked the turnout. There was like a good amount of people there that I had no idea who they were. I was just like,
We're like,
we
who
have
is that?
fans here just watching this.
Yeah.
It was good though.
But I mean, it was definitely the largest amount of people there, and I thought it was great weather. Everyone had a good time, and like Tony was saying, it's exciting now to go to the next thing. But what's exciting too is that it's going to be kind of the same thing. Like everyone's still going to show up on one big day like that. It's just that you get to do that multiple times, and those will make up one big season.
Yeah. Okay. Mine was I had multiple people come up to me and they were like, "Dude, this is huge." Like this was like Jordan. Jordan was in the one of the tournaments that was up in our backyard like 6 months ago, and he was like, "I never thought that it would have grown to this." I mean, we have social media everywhere. People watch these videos. People are so invested now.
Or we're making it for nothing.
There's so much pride on the line for every one of these things.
Yeah, like people take this seriously now.
It's like if you screw up, it's getting all over for everyone. Everyone's seeing it in Southwest Washington.
Seriously. And a good way to transition with that, people taking this serious, is going into the free agency with the cap being raised so much.
Oh, dang.
Let's go into the free agents. Okay, who are the free agents?
Well, there's a lot of them.
Okay,
we just posted an article yesterday.
Did we?
Well, we're filming this today.
By the time it comes out, we will
have some complications. Yeah, but.
So
I was like, I didn't see it.
I mean, there's a lot of good names out there. Obviously, the Williamson boys still, because they didn't want to sign. And then, Kyle Godino could opt out, use his opt-out option. Then, those are the biggest ones. And then you would have like Myers, Tyler Hudson, yourself, myself, Adam Clark, Jacob Braun, McP. There's some good names out there. The landscape of the league could definitely be changed if, things shake out weird. People don't re-sign, basically. But August 28th is when free agency begins. No contracts can be offered, no contracts can be signed till then. You can agree to stuff in principle, but it's basically off, it's not official until then. That's kind of a new rule, 2-week dead period. Yeah, I don't know if we said this before, but there is going to be a trade deadline. Now that it's a season thing, not one day. That'll be like in between the two sessions. But
before we go, let's say who we think the most important free agent is. That's not Nate or Brett. It's not the Williamson boys. But other than those two, who do we think is the most important?
In terms of impacting that,
in terms of just impact and if they stay or go.
Ty and Lucas Myers.
Yeah, I would agree.
If either one of them leaves, the teams are devastated.
And wherever they go, too, they're going to draw in other good people. So wherever they go to is going to become a good team, I think.
This is the underdog's chance. I want them to get some players. I want the underdogs to be good.
Granny, blow it up.
And spend that
and
money.
I hear the Lynx weren't too happy about how the season went.
No,
and they're about to throw around some big money too.
So you greedy people, you be on the lookout.
Garrett's gonna spend the money. Come August 28th. Kyle, what are you doing?
Exploiting me.
Greedy people.
Kyle's gonna opt out by August 28th. I guarantee it. And on August 28th, you're gonna see on Facebook, Kyle Godino has signed some multi-$100 thing. It's gonna be ridiculous.
I honestly guarantee it's Kyle Godino signs 2-year. Brock, hey, come on, Brock.
It's not that much.
Brock, the cap's 65 for a season.
50
It will say
season.
Kyle Godino signs two-season, $200 contract.
Yeah, that would have to be 4.
No.
50, 50, 50, 50.
What?
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
4.
Still, for $200, and
Garrett already said
I bet you Garrett's like, I'll pay $150 up front or something. It'll be a joke.
It's gonna get out of control.
It's gonna get way out of control.
It's gonna get wild.
Be great.
Can't wait. So,
Who do you think needs to be the most aggressive in free agency?
Granny.
yeah.
They've been bad They haven't made the playoffs for 5 seasons.
This is her real
Really?
chance to
They
start
have not
over.
made the playoffs
What do
since
you think?
JAL.
Has to be James French.
9.
Yeah, him
Has to be the
too.
Bison. The
Both.
Bison have been worse than the Underdogs.
I know for a fact the Bison right
Oh
after the
my
season
gosh.
offered Ty $60 for 1 season.
Yeah.
Unofficially, but.
That's a lot, James.
That is a lot, James.
And I
appreciated
know.
I told you guys.
I know the Storm were starting to talk to him too, and I was hearing something around $50.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, Tierney's right.
Yes.
Things are gonna get really wild.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna sit here.
We're
and
gonna
laugh
sit
about
here, judge all of
Oh
you.
yes. It's gonna be great.
It'll be wonderful. It'll be wonderful.
it. I can't wait to see an average player
Why
get
keep
like
going
$40.
I was,
We're trying to end it.
no, I was just gonna say it's the last one you're gonna be on, like here with us.
No.
Yeah, so everyone say goodbye to Brock for being on this couch. He's gonna go to college, and we'll never see him again until like probably. So,
See ya.
well, he'll be on the show, just not
Yeah.
in the couch. So,
Not on the classic couch.
yeah, not on the JAL couch.
Let's wrap it
Yep.
up.
All right.
Okay.
That's
Wrap it
it
up,
for
Brad.
this episode. We'll have other stuff later.